Let me pull the door closed. I bet you're getting audio now, aren't you? Because I had my audio turned off. Sorry about that, guys. Put in that box there if you can hear me okay now. I apologize. Yep, guy says yep. David says yep. All right, man. We got a full house today. This is amazing. That means you didn't hear the video, the announcement video, the little intro video. And I got to tell you, I'm tired of it. I got to do a new one. Hey, Richard, you're in San Diego. Cool, man. Good to see you. Richard sent one of my friends there. Catherine can hear me. Catherine, where are you from? You guys tell me where you're at. I know Ron's in Chicago. Richard, you must be traveling again. Do you still have that Tesla X you let me drive? That was nice. That was cool. Mita is in Connecticut. Good to see you again. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, Mita. Catherine's from Italy, Texas, south of Dallas. That's confusing. I guess there's a town called Italy in Texas. I didn't know that. There's Boulder. There's David in Boulder. Tammy's from Olivet, Michigan. Very cool. We've got Ostra from Lithuania. Very cool. Allison's from the San Francisco Bay Area. Richard says, I'm in San Diego for 2 months, then Florida. Man, you the guy. Richard's a friend of mine from one of the meetup groups I used to do, and he does real estate stuff online, all kinds of great courses. Okay, cool, guys. Well, we're ready to get started. Let me switch my screen over so you guys can see everything. When I'm doing this chat thing, it kind of reduces the screen down. And so let me get to my next one here. And today is going to be fun. You're really going to like today. I got a lot of cool stuff. Oh, yeah. Did I mention that Matthew McConaughey is going to talk to you guys at the end of this? Yeah. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Is it live? No, it's not live. But Matthew McConaughey is going to talk to you. So that's pretty cool. So if nothing else, stick around for that. I think you'll enjoy it. Jessica, can you say hi to everybody? She's sitting over there. She's not feeling well today.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. So glad you're here.
So Jessica's there to field your questions if you have any questions along the way. But today's really cool. If you've been having a hard time with Facebook ads, this is the training that's going to help you. Okay, so if you've been having a hard time with Facebook ads, this training will actually really open up your eyes to a lot of things that are going on at Facebook and why things work and why they don't work. Okay, so I think sometimes it's even more important to know what doesn't work than to know what does work. Okay, and that's basically what Facebook ads is. Facebook ads is a series of ads that you run to figure out which ones are not going to work. So that's it. So it's really that simple. So I want to look first at the history of Facebook ads because I would bet most of you guys don't know how young Facebook really is as far as advertising goes. Because I mean, it's like super young. It just started. It started initially because you understand Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook so he would have some friends. Okay, so he wanted to kind of have some college friends, so that's why he started it. So it's not unusual that they started off first off with Facebook flyers. Okay, here's an example of Facebook flyers. This is one of the first ads that was run on Facebook, and it says, "Want a paid job on campus that'll allow you to share your year at Butler with the world? Admission is looking for several students to be bloggers this year. Message me or click email for more information." Now, not only am I going to share some of these ads with you, because I want you to see where they started from, because they've come a long way, but I'm also going to share with you what the cost of some of these ads are. They're going to blow your mind. So most people wrongly believe that Facebook first got into advertising in 2012. It was just prior to filing its really bad IPO. Strange how that works out. But you know, that IPO started off at 35 bucks. I mean, that's what they initially offered it at. But it went down to, I think, as low as $27 for a share of Facebook stock. And guess who bought that stock? I did. I looked at it and I said, well, at 27 bucks, how can I go wrong? I did not buy enough because somebody said, did you buy enough? I said, well, no, you never buy enough of a stock that's now in the mid 300s. But I did pay 27 bucks for it, which was kind of cool. The history of Facebook actually advertising goes back to the social network's very early days in 2004. And these were the Facebook flyers. So the one you're seeing off to the left there is an example of that. And I want to show you a couple more. This one here is one that they did in the beginning. This was for a job fair, December 11th and 12th, 2012, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is the kind of ads that you would see on Facebook. Now, Facebook flyers cost between $10 and $40 and were mainly used to advertise social gatherings, you know, like those keg parties we all went to, and other things that you would expect to see on campus. So it was pretty much a campus, like a notice board type thing. You know, dog walking stuff, you know, people who want to work in coffee shops, stuff like that. So it's nowhere anywhere like what it is right now. And they really couldn't target stuff. I mean, they were gathering data then, but I mean, you think about this, that was just 6 years ago. I mean, 6 years ago. That's crazy, right? To think about where it's come to now, and it's worth billions of dollars now. And you know, I think it's funny when Zuckerberg had to testify in front of Congress. Those guys couldn't even figure out how he made money. You know, the one guy says, "I don't understand. You have a platform that people can use for free. That doesn't sound like a sustainable business." And he says, we run ads." So the guy didn't even understand that stuff. You know, it was just insane. So if you guys have any questions while I'm talking, understand that Jessica's off to the side. She can answer those um, and get your questions answered for you. So then what happened was the organic reach died right after around 2012, 2013. And I mean, it was bad. Social media marketers knew that things were going to get worse for a long time, but they did this study, Social at Ogilvy study, and it was published by Ogilvy and Mather in 2014. What it did is it actually showed how bad the organic reach in posts had become. So it was between, like, I don't know, 2013 and 14, Facebook pages of every type saw really a devastating reduction in organic reach. So people had these pages, but nobody was seeing any of the posts. Now, Facebook told everybody, this was known as Facebook Zero or Reach Apocalypse. So like you would post something and nobody would see it all of a sudden. And that was really weird to everybody because before everybody would see it. Now, this kind of coincided, because you understand it was 2012 was their IPO. This kind of coincided with their IPO. So Facebook would tell you that there was just too much data and that the data, that was being put on Facebook was too much for them to get shared to everybody. But there's a funny little chart that I want to show you about the history of Facebook ads. The average organic reach of content published on brand Facebook pages. If you look right here, this is the Social and Ogilvy report right here. Now, this is between October 13th and February 2014, okay? And what you can see here is all pages, and then you see pages with less than 500,000 likes. They both really declined. It didn't matter that you had a big following. Facebook didn't really care about that. Now, here's the interesting part. Between that same period of time, so that October 13th to the February 14th, as you can see here, the Facebook organic reach just really, really declined. But look at this. The Facebook stock price went way, way up, okay? Now, the reason it went way, way up is because they started to figure out advertising. And that's when Facebook really became worth, these billions of dollars that we're seeing now. So I just want to give you this background on this so you can see, because I have people, and I did a video a little while ago, but I have people who say to me, Facebook ads don't work. I tried them, they don't work. And I scratch my head. I'm like, do you realize that's one of the richest companies in the world, okay? And their only source of income is ads. That's it, okay? It's the only way that Facebook makes money is through ads. And you're gonna sit there and say that Facebook ads don't work. If they didn't work back in 2012, 13, when they were starting to do them, they would have quit, right? If they didn't work, everybody would have quit. So obviously, if Facebook is becoming worth more and more money and ads are getting more and more expensive, which they are, it must obviously work. And that person who says they don't work, it must be them, okay? So they don't know what to do. But in this training, you're going to know what it is, what you need to do, okay? I just want to give you this background here because I know there's somebody on this call that's saying, oh, I tried those ads, they just don't work. I tried, man, I lost like hundreds of dollars. It's because you did it wrong, okay? Just suck it up, realize you did it wrong, and start moving forward because you've got to invest some money in this. And that's another thing. A lot of people say, well, I don't want to put any money in ads. What if they don't work? Well, you're going to lose some money in ads. I lose money in ads every single time I run them, but I find ads that do work. And then here's the crazy thing. You're going to find ads that do work, but then they're going to stop working. And I can't tell you why, but they do. And then you got to come up with more ads. And that's called advertising. And then, whether it's any other type of advertising or TV which is horrible, or radio or any of those things, you got to constantly change up your ads. You don't see McDonald's and Burger King and Taco Bell and all these fast food joints doing the same ad for 35 years. You just don't see it. Things, wear out after a while, they get old, they don't resonate, and you got to change things up. So one thing I do want to warn you guys about, we are at full capacity today. So do not get out. If you get out, there are people waiting in the wings to grab your seat. So if you get out of the session today, you will guaranteed lose your seat. So don't do that, okay? Don't do that, all right? Stick in here, not that much longer, and you're gonna get some good information. All right, so what makes Facebook ads so effective? Well, let's take a look at this. We've got everything down there. I could expand that thing down there. It says Reddit, Twitter, some of these I don't know, Cinna, Web, I don't know what the heck that is, Qzone. These are all these different social areas that you can do stuff. But look who's at top. Now, this is only through 2018. However, 2.196 billion people, okay? And then look at YouTube right below that. YouTube's very close, okay? WhatsApp's right below that, Facebook Messenger's below that. But if you notice, Facebook Messenger is part of Facebook. So this is why Facebook is so darn profitable, is because they reach so many people. That's the amazing thing, is they this reach is just phenomenal. So will Facebook ads die out? That's the question, okay? In January 2014, Princeton University Department of, get this, Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering did research on Facebook. How in the world they picked that group to do it, I'll have no idea. But they looked at it, and these are the smart people in colleges that never have jobs, right? They looked at it and they said there's so much fluctuations in the adoption of this, and it's similar to what we observed in epidemiology. What? That's what they said, that they concluded that Facebook was doomed. This was 2014. It could possibly be out of business within the next year, which would have been 2015. These people were idiots, but this is what they said. These were the experts at the college, Princeton University. Okay, these are, people who study all day long and never really put anything into practice. And they predicted 1 year for Facebook would be out of business. Now look at it. Look at, the year it is now and the amount of money that Facebook's worth now. It's insane, right? So why is the data flawed? Well, I look at stuff really simply. And if you think about it, they based this data that they received on several different things. But one of the things that they based it on is they said that fewer and fewer people were joining Facebook. In other words, maybe they had 1,000,000 1 year, but the next year they had 750,000. Well, okay, let's look at that for a second. Is that possible? Yeah, it's possible because they already had a bunch of people join it. Okay, and you have a limited number of people in the world. So of course, the number of people who join Facebook year after year, even though it's more people joining it, it's going to decrease. Duh, of course it's going to decrease. So they said, okay, well, there's another reason we think that Facebook is declining, and it's because Google Trends. Google Trends says that fewer and fewer people are searching information about Facebook. No kidding. You see, it's like once people understand Facebook, they don't need to search it anymore. Of course, the search trends are going to be going down for something they know all about. Here's an example and a case in point. People don't need to search what they already understand. I mean, that would be dumb, right? Here's a search for polio, okay? Who's searching polio nowadays? Nobody. Polio's all been but eradicated, but according to Google search trends, it's got a downward search. Now, polio, obviously, and Google could only go back to, 2004. But of course, that was around when I was a kid. I even had a cousin who died of polio. And had there have been an internet then, I'm sure the search would have been really super high. But guess what? We all know about it. We don't search it anymore. We all know about Facebook. We don't search it anymore. We're all members of Facebook. We don't have to join it anymore. It's quite simply, these guys don't understand how to look at data. All right. So let's talk about clicks. Okay. And that's what this is all about in this training is how do you get more clicks? What is it that's going to get people to click on these ads? What are the few components that you really need to work on? So let's drill down to those right now, and we're going to figure those out. First thing, the reason we want more clicks, more traffic is what? We sell more stuff, okay? We're all here to make money off these clicks. I mean, we don't, it's cool to see how many clicks you got, but I mean, bottom line is we want to make money, okay? So that's why it's important. More clicks also will do something else for you. It's going to increase your brand awareness. Now, if people are clicking on your brand and they see it over and over and over and over, right? When you come out with something else out there, they're going to say, oh, that's JR. And he had a class on, Web Cash Academy. He had, Digital Cash Academy. He had Ecom Road, and he's got Facebook Ads University now. So they're more likely, because of this brand awareness, to buy the stuff that you're coming out with, whether it's products or whether it's courses or whatever it is. More clicks also increases organic sharing. Okay, I see this all the time. People are into whatever subject it is, and they take it and they take that ad and they share it on their timeline, or they tell their friends about it, or they tag people. And I have a book that I sell online, and I see people tagging their friends all the time about this book, and they're saying, hey, check out this book. This is a good book. You ought to get it. That book is, of course, How to Find Products to Sell Online. If you don't have that book, you ought to get that book. It's a really good book. But that little thing, that organic sharing, right, gets my brand awareness up and it gets my sales up. So they all work in unison together. They all work really well. So what makes people click? Number one, all right, so I'm going to go through each component here so you know what it is, so you know what to work on. The first thing is the title or the headline. This is the very first thing that makes them click, and we'll drill down on each one of these. The next thing is the text. Now, the text is going to be the description of your ad, what you put in your ad, what you're saying to the people. Next thing is going to be the image. Now, here's the thing about the image, guys. If you don't think an image is important, 70 to 90% of your ad success is your image. 70 to 90%. Now, why is that? Why is the image so important? Well, because most people are on mobile right now, and they're not on a desktop, and they're scrolling through their feed. And as they scroll through their feed, what's going to stop them? A few words? I doubt that. It's going to be an image. It's going to be a video that interests them. So if you are selling products, let's say you're selling stuff off AliExpress, and you're taking, those pictures that they have on AliExpress, and you're just putting them as clip art and putting it on Facebook and saying, I'm going to make some money, I'm going to sell this product, you're going to fail. It's not going to work. You need to order those products. You need to get them in your own hands. And why wouldn't you want to do that anyhow, right? You want to make sure it's a good product. So you want to get those products, take cool pictures of them, take pictures of people using those products, right? Or videos of people using those products. And that's what you want to post, okay? Stop with this clip art stuff, guys. And people say, where can I get images? I said, from your camera. That's where you get images. People are like, well, I want to get some images of this product. I said, great, get the product, invest in it. You should do that anyhow, and take pictures of it. Make videos of it. That's what's going to make you money. But a lot of people just don't want to put forth that effort. You got to do it, okay? And the last thing is the offer. Everybody thinks the offer is so important. And yeah, the offer's got to be a good offer, because if you go through all these steps and it's got a good, headline, text, image, and you don't have a good offer, it won't sell. But you know what? The offer's not what makes it. They'll never get to your offer, right? They can't get to your landing page. They can't get to your sales page if your headline sucks and your text sucks and your image is just that clip art stuff. I mean, they just won't get there, okay? So keep this in mind when you're going through these. And let's get a little bit more detail on these, okay? So what makes people click? First thing is the title or the headline. I told you about that, okay? It's got to catch the targeted prospect's attention, okay? Really super, super important. If that headline doesn't like scream out at them, and I'm going to talk about different kinds of headlines in just a minute, but if it doesn't scream out at them, they're not going to click on your ad. It's not going to happen. And I want to show you some examples too. The next thing that you could make your headline do, and there's several different ways of doing this headline, is it should make a promise or a solution to some problem, okay? Because that's what people are essentially looking for. They're looking, for something that you're going to give them, that you're going to solve for them, that you're going to fix for them. That's what they want, okay? So that's how you have to think about these products. It also needs to introduce the rest of the text. So it should be a lead in to the rest of that text there. In other words, when they read that headline, they should want to read the rest of the text. They want to go, wait a second, they just said this crazy thing in the headline. Let me see what this is all about. So you want to get them reading that. So let's talk about, different kinds of headlines. You got a command headline, okay? A command headline could be something like, grab this free course now. Okay, you're saying do this, right? Now, after you say do this, in the text, you're going to want to say why you should do this, okay? You could say something like, get on the list before it's too late. Too late? What's going to happen? It makes me kind of want to read it, all right? Try ignoring this ad. I love that one there. I actually saw that on an ad. I stole that from somebody else's ad. And I read that and I was like, I wonder what they got to say. And I actually started reading the ad because it said, try ignoring this ad. I couldn't ignore it. They told it was just counterintuitive, right? So you could also do a reason why headline, okay? A reason why headline. This is one of the most commonly used when writing list posts and blog titles, but it's very useful in advertising too. So you can use that. The reason why headlines work in a simple way, they suggest tips or benefits of using the product or service. And I'm going to show you samples of each one of these too. Let's talk about the title headline a little bit more here. This is one of the ads that I'm currently running, so you may see it in your newsfeed. And it starts off, this is an open letter to anyone who has tried to start an e-commerce business and has failed. So that really speaks to some people, right? Because there's a lot of people that have tried and failed. It hasn't worked out for them. Here's another one, another ad. Now this ad here is for the exact same product. That one actually is for a book. And I scrunched down the picture. We're not really as short and as fat as that picture looks like, but I had to scrunch it down to get it on the slide here. So it says, next one says, if you sell products online, but have no experience, no, if you want to sell products online, but have no experience or no money for inventory, here's some good news. Now that really speaks to some people, right? Because they want to make money online. And then I go on to say selling profitable products online is easy to do if you have a proven system that works. So it kind of leads you to say, well, what's the proven system? What's going on there? And then the next one I have here, I got to get Jessica's screen. If you could slide that over towards me, I cannot see that. The next one here says 4 steps to pick a product to sell online that makes a profit without risk. Now there's a lot to that headline right there. And that's one of our most popular ads right there, because it calls out several different problems that people run into, right? So that gets them to want to read. And if you notice, these pictures are nothing special. Okay, you don't have to do something that is, grandiose and, awesome and like the best clip art and best graphics in the world. I mean, 2 of these pictures are a picture of the book with an arrow. or just a different background that I did in Photoshop, okay? So I want to go through this a little bit. I need to move my screen. Excuse me just a second, guys. If I don't move the screen, I won't be able to see what I'm reading. So let me get back to this. Where are we? There we go. Okay. All right. And I want to go through this ad and kind of just walk you through it so you can kind of see what we said in the text portion of this ad, because this is one that works well for me. This ad has been running since March. So, you know, we've got, what is that, 5 months of data on it now, almost 5 months of data. That's pretty good. And it makes money every day. So that's kind of cool. So let's take a look at it. And if you look up here in the text here, it says this is an open letter to anyone who's tried to make money online, has failed. And then I've got some case in points down here. If you notice, I've got a link right there they can click on. And then I ask them a question. Have you tried to sell products online? It seems like everybody's making money but you. And then I go through a big, long description of everything in here. I have another link right there, as you can see. I put some emojis in there. I like emojis. I put some money bags in there. I don't know which emojis work better than others. I have another call to action right there. And you want to have several in here. And then I talk about a story. Don't take my word for it. I talk about one of my students and what they did. I have another call to action there. And then I go into all these different steps and things they're going to learn within the book, what page they're on. I go through step by step what they're going to get when they get this book, how the traditional methods have worked. And then I tell the truth about it. I show how to price products. I mean, I go into a lot of detail, and guess what? Another call to action. That one there reached 42,896 people. So this is not theory, guys. This is something that I do, okay, every day, and it did well, and it's still doing well. So here's another copy of another ad. This one here is the 4 steps to pick a profitable product. And I go through a different description here. If you want to sell products online, a little bit different intro to it. I have some of the same emojis in here. And then I go down here, I have more calls to action. And then I go back into some of the same story that I told on the other one. But this is just another example of that. I have all the little bullet points and where you're going to find them in the book again. That part is identical to the other ad right there. I just tried a different beginning. Now, this one here did a whole lot better. This one here just reached 5,300 people. Okay, this one here is fairly new on it. So it's not that complicated to do, but you got to put effort into it. You can't, always, and sometimes you can put 2 or 3 sentences and sell something to make a lot of money, but not always. Like, I really sell the crap out of this book. It's a good book. It's a downloadable one. It has an audio that they can get afterwards, and it has upsells. If you don't have upsells behind this, it's hard to make it profitable. Excuse me. The upsells on this are more courses, more training that go along with this book that they're going to need once they find products, right? They're going to need this other information. So if there's any questions, guys, you're welcome to put it in that box there. I see some people are putting some questions in there. Jessica, is there any in there that I could answer for them right now? Because Matthew McConaughey's coming up.
I think I've answered everything.
Oh, she's answered everything in there. Cool. All right, so let's move on to the next screen. So let's talk about images, okay? What image is going to work? So here's some interesting images. This is from the Shelter Pet Project, and I really like this one here because what it does is it calls out several different things here, and it tells, there's a call to action here. It says, adopt me. Right up front, they're not messing around. They're not saying, hey, would you like to check out these cute dogs? They're saying, adopt me. There's no doubt in your mind what they want you to do here. Okay, adopt a shelter pet. They even say it down there. And then they talk a little bit about that dog right there. They also say it's good for a woman or a man. Here's one, Beats by Dre. Interesting picture, right? Straight out of Holly Grove. Okay, that's a little counterintuitive because we always think of Straight Outta Compton, that movie. And they, let's see here, Holly Grove to the top of the charts. Lil Wayne did it. Where's yours? So I guess they're saying, if you have these Beats headset, that you'll be a recording artist and you could be a rap star, right? So next one here. I like this one here. This is Wix. We always see Wix. Wix, of course, does websites. And then what they do, they say create your own stunning website. And they actually give a sample of that particular website right there, okay? So you can actually see what it is. They tell you what it's all about. They say, show the world who you are with a stunning website. and they say you can create yours today. It's easy and free, simple, okay? And then the last one right here, I like this image kind of because it's a little out of place. This guy who's dressed really nice, who you would think, you know, would be in a nice car and all that, is walking between buses or trains there. But if you notice in all these images, guys, if you're scrolling through and you see one of these, it would stop you, okay? But if you have an image that is something from AliExpress and it's a picture of a strainer and you expect people to click on it, it ain't happening. I mean, this is not going to happen. So I want you to look at these images, you know, and see what's going on here, seeing how it catches your attention, and realize how important that image really is. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about here is the offer, okay? Offers, super, super important, okay? If it is not a great deal, if your offer is not a great deal, you are not going to convert customers. You'll get all the clicks in the world and all this stuff, but if it's not a great deal, I mean, you're not going to convert. My book that they can, you know, get, and they can learn how to find profitable products online to sell today, right? It's $5.60. It's cheap, right? And you may be thinking, well, why? How do you make any money at $5.60? The answer is I don't. But the $5.60 does pay for my ad, and then that $5 bump for the audio makes me a little bit of profit. And then the upsell after that, you know, at $27 or $97 or whatever, is where I make my money. So you have to go into it understanding that if you're going to sell to a cold audience or even a warm audience sometimes, you know, you're going to need to just cover the cost of your ad in the beginning and have ways to make money past that, okay? So it's got to be a great deal. First things first, okay? If you look at your product and you say, well, you know, it's an okay deal. I mean, it's okay. No, you got to look at it and go, this is incredible. I mean, really, for what they're getting, you know, it's just a phenomenal deal. Now, like in the book I just showed you and all the text in there, the only way I could show that that was a phenomenal deal is to spell out all the things that's in the book, right? So they could see exactly what they were getting. And that's why that ad copy was so darn long. Next thing is, it needs to have a sense of urgency, okay? So if you're running some type of special sale or something like that, you know, if it's going to run for 72 hours or whatever it is, you got to have some type of urgency into it. Also, you got to give a reason. Why are you selling this product? Well, you say, well, I'm selling it to make money. No, it's got to be a reason for them, because everybody listens to one radio station. Does anybody know what that radio station is? It's WIFM. Everybody listens to that radio station. WIFM stands for What's in It for Me. Okay, that's what everybody cares about. They don't care about you. They don't care about your company. They don't care about your product. They care about what's in it for them. And if you can't give them a reason, you know, why you're doing this. So like if you know, I don't know, you're selling bird cages, you know, maybe you're having a clearance in your warehouse, or you need to move to a new warehouse, or you need a bigger warehouse. And don't lie, I mean, be honest. But you know, what's the reason for you running an ad? Okay, you know, maybe you're down to your last 200 of them. Maybe you're down to your last 47 of them. It's got to have a reason. And of course, it's got to be targeted. If you do all these things above and you're not putting it in front of the right people, you aren't going to sell anything. Okay. If I take my How to Find Products Online, you know, 4 steps book, and I put it in front of people who want to adopt dogs, it's not going to resonate. It's just not going to work. Okay. So it's got to be in front of the people who would want to find products to sell online. And that's a whole nother course right there, right? And it has to be congruent. So whatever ad I'm running, when they get to the landing page, it has to be something that's congruent with the ad. So if I'm saying one thing in the ad and something different on the landing page, I'm going to lose my customer, right? If the image on the ad is different from the image on the landing page, I'm going to lose my customer. So you got to be congruent, okay? So some things you always, always, always have to do, okay? Now I'm going to give you 4 things that you always have to do. If you do these 4 things, you're going to be set for life. Really, you apply these 4 things, and I am not kidding you, you are going to do incredible. Are you ready for the 4 things? Okay, here's the first one. You have to test, okay? Very important that you test. Okay, here's the next one. You need to test again, okay? You need to test again. The next one, you see it? You see a pattern to this? You need to test again, okay? And then what do you need to do? You need to test again, okay? And the reason I'm saying this and drilling this in is because people don't test. They say, well, I ran an ad and I ran an image and it didn't work. We generally start off with 8 to 10 audiences, 4 to 5 different images, okay? And several different ad copies. And then we're going to narrow down a couple of audiences. And then once we narrow down the audiences, we're going to narrow down the images within that audience. And once we narrow that down, we're going to narrow down the ad copy, and we're going to keep doing that. And then once we get one that really works, guess what we do? We test it against another one. So I'm getting ready to do more images for my book one, right? Because I've got some that are working, but guess what? There could be more that would work. So I need to get some more images done. Okay. I need to do something different. And that's what you need to do too. It's test, 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 constantly testing. That's what you have to do to be successful. Okay. So as I promised, and I always do a Q&A at the end of my sessions, and I might have time for a couple questions, but Matthew McConaughey has a message for you. I came across this and I really felt like sharing with you guys. Every now and then you need to hear, what the truth's all about. You need to hear it from a successful person. We're doing good in e-commerce, but it's not just e-commerce, guys. It's many facets of your life. I like Will Smith. He does a lot of cool things online and a lot of cool talks. But I did come across this with Matthew McConaughey, and I did want to share it with you. So let me start this up. It's a little recording, and I just want you to enjoy this.
We've all got two wolves in us, a good one and a bad one, and they both want to eat. The best I can tell, we just got to feed that good one a little more than the other one. Happiness is an emotional response to an outcome. If I win, I will be happy. If I don't, I won't. It's an if-then, cause and effect, quid pro quo standard that we cannot sustain because we immediately raise it every time we attain it. You see, happiness demands a certain outcome. It is result reliant. And I say, if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently, and you're going to be unhappy much of your time. Joy, though, joy is a different thing. It's something else. Joy is not a choice. It's not a response to some result. It's a constant. Joy is the feeling that we have from doing what we are fashioned to do, no matter the outcome. Now, personally, as an actor, I started enjoying my work and literally being more happy when I stopped trying to make the daily labor a means to a certain end. For example, I need this film to be a box office success. I need my performance to be acknowledged. I need the respect of my peers. All of those are reasonable aspirations, but the truth is, as soon as the work, the daily making of the movie, the doing of the deed became the reward in itself for me, I got more box office, more accolades and respect than I ever had before. See, joy is always in process. It's under construction. It is in constant approach, alive and well in the doing of what we're fashioned to do and enjoying. And the easiest way to dissect success is through gratitude. Giving thanks for that which we do have, for what is working, appreciating the simple things we sometimes take for granted. We give thanks for these things, and that gratitude reciprocates, creating more to be thankful for. It's really simple, and it works. Now, I'm not saying be in denial of your failures. No, we can learn from them too, but only if we look at them constructively as a means to reveal what we are good at, what we can get better at, what we do succeed at. Our life's a verb. We try our best, we don't always do our best. And since we are the architects of our own lives, let's study the habits, the practices, the routines that we have that lead to and feed our success, our joy, our honest pain, our laughter, our earned tears. Let's dissect that and give thanks for those things. And when we do that, guess what happens? We get better at them, and we have more to dissect. To get rich quick on the internet, richest 15 minutes of fame world that we live in, and we see it every day. But we all want to succeed, right? So the question that we got to ask ourselves is what success is to us, what success is to you. Is it more money? That's fine. I got nothing against money. Maybe it's a healthy family. Maybe it's a happy marriage. Maybe it's to help others, to be famous, to be spiritually sound, to leave the world a little bit better place than you found it. Continue to ask yourself that question. Now, your answer may change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. It tastes sweet, but you will get cavities tomorrow. All right, life is not a popularity contest. Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill? Well, for me, it's a measurement of 5 things. We got fatherhood. We got being a good husband. We got my health, mind, body, and spirit. We got career, and we got friendships. These are what's important to me in my life right now. Because I want to keep all 5 in healthy shape. And I know that if I don't take care of them, if I don't keep up maintenance on them, one of them is going to get weak, man. It's going to dip too deep into the debit section. It's going to go bankrupt. It's going to get sick, die. So first, we have to define success for ourselves. And then we have to put in the work to maintain it. Take that daily tally. Tend our garden. Keep the things that are important to us in good shape. Defining ourselves by what we are not is the first step that leads us to really knowing who we are. You know that group of friends that you hang out with that they really might not bring out the best in you? You know, they gossip too much, or they're kind of shady. They really aren't going to be there for you in a pinch. Or how about that bar that we keep going to that we always seem to have the worst hangover from? Or that computer screen, right? That computer screen that keeps giving us an excuse not to get out of the house and engage with the world and get some real human interaction. Or how about that food that we keep eating? The stuff that tastes so good going down, makes us feel like crap the next week. We feel lethargic and we keep putting on weight. Well, those people, those places, those things, stop giving them your time and energy. Just don't go there. I mean, put them down. And when you do this, when you do put them down, when you quit going there, and you quit giving them your time, you inadvertently find yourself spending more time and in more places that are healthy for you, that bring you more joy. Why? Because you just eliminated the who's, the where's, the what's, and the when's that were keeping you from your identity. Like, trust me, too many options, I promise you, too many options will make a tyrant of us all. All right, so get rid of the excess, the wasted time. Decrease your options. If you do this, you will have accidentally, almost innocently, put in front of you what is important to you by process of elimination. Knowing who we are is hard. It's hard. Give yourself a break. Eliminate who you are not first, and you're going to find yourself where you need to be. Make voluntary obligations. I'm talking about the ones that we make with ourselves, with our God, with our own consciousness. I'm talking about the you versus you obligations. We have to have them. Now, again, these are not societal laws and expectations that we acknowledge and endow for anyone other than ourselves. These are faith-based obligations that we make on our own. These are not the lowered insurance rates for a good driving record. You will not be fined or put in jail if you do not gratify these obligations I speak of. No one else governs these but you. They are your secrets with yourself, your own private counsel, personal protocols. And while nobody throws you a party when you abide by them, no one's going to arrest you when you break them either, except yourself. An honest man's pillow is his peace of mind. And when you lay down on that pillow at night, no matter who's in your bed, we all sleep alone. These are your personal Jiminy Crickets. And there are not enough cops in the entire world to police them. It's on you. It's on you. We do our best when our destinations are beyond the measurement, when our reach continually exceeds our grasp, and when we have immortal finish lines. And when we do this, the race is never over. The journey has no port. The adventure never ends because we are always on the way. So do this, and let somebody else come up and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you scored. Let them run up and tap you on the shoulder and say, man, you won. Let them come tell you, you can go home now. Let them say, I love you too. Let them say, thank you. Take the lid off the man-made roofs that we put above ourselves and always play like an underdog.
Okay, guys, what did you think of his message? I thought it was pretty darn good, actually. You want to get your comments on that there. Deep video, Kathy says. Let me pull my screen over. I know it's going to drop this thing down for a second. There we go. Let me get this back up here to our Q&A screen. That's the one we should be on, yes. Yeah, I think he had a lot of good points in there. Tammy says it's awesome. Ronald says great. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool, you know, and I heard Jim Carrey say something the other day, which I thought was really, really neat, because, you know, we concentrate on making money online, and this is all about Facebook ads. I don't want to get off on a tangent. However, that means that's what I'm going to do right now. It's not all about making money. Jim Carrey said he would like everybody to reach their goals of financial freedom, you know, make $20 million or whatever, so that when they got there, they could see that that's not what was going to make them happy. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with making money. Heck, I like to make money. That's a cool thing. But the point of making money, to making a lot of money, is not the money itself. It's the freedom so that you can go ahead and do what you want. And it's because of what it makes of you as you're making that money. Because if you're making a lot of money, you're probably working hard and you're probably getting enough rest, and maybe you're exercising, and maybe you're eating right. You're doing all these things which gives you the energy to make all this money, and you're helping other people out. So, you know, that's the point. It's not the money. Because if somebody just handed you the money today, I know a lot of people in this call would say, whoa, you know, if somebody just handed me money today, I would be super happy and everything would be perfect. It wouldn't. I promise you it wouldn't. Okay? Because you still have your life, you still have your family, you still have your friends, you still have all these things around you that you need to work on. And if you neglect a lot of those things, guess what happens to your business? You know, if you don't get enough rest, guess what happens to your business? If you don't eat right, guess what happens to your business? If you don't exercise, guess what happens to your business? If you don't work hard, guess what happens to your business? So it all ties together. And I just wanted you guys to kind of hear some of that, as opposed to just doing, you know, Q&A today on, you know, how to do another ad. It's important, and, you know, we'll be back to our Q&A next week. Don't worry. But I also want you to think a little bit deeper. So any comments in there, you're welcome to put them in. I'm about to close this down. We're getting ready to do something, and I think most of you know what it is, because we have a lot of people in this call that, of course, are here every week. Catherine says she purchased the book. Well, that was nice of you, Catherine. I can now retire. I got that $5.60. Just kidding, of course. Just messing with you. Purchased the book to view in a while. Good for you. That's very nice of you. So guys, I really appreciate, what type of food? David's asking me a question. All right, it's lunchtime, Wayne. Yes, they know, Jessica. Okay, what type of food today? I am going to a really cool place. Now, I'm going to share it with you a little later on. If you're on Facebook, I'm going to post a couple pictures. Let's see here. Split it with me, somebody says. Catherine, you're funny. And this place is an upscale Mexican restaurant. Now, in San Diego, we have a lot of restaurants. I mean, a lot of them. Literally, we can go every single week to a brand new restaurant and not hit them all. But this place is really cool, and I want you guys to see the inside of it. So if you're not friends with me on Facebook, friend me. And I know I'm real close to that threshold of, you know, having too many friends, and they won't let you have any more friends, but you can follow me. And I'm going to post some pictures of it. It looks really cool. Looks really cool. And then, you know, after we eat there, I'll actually tell you where it is. If you ever traveling and you want to hit this restaurant, I think you're going to like it. It's really, really cool, really different, not what you're expecting at all. So I'm about to do that. Wayne says barbecue. No, it's not barbecue. It is Mexican, but it's upscale Mexican. Okay. But I got to tell you, one of my favorite Mexican places is a place in San Diego called Las Cuatro Milpas. And it is in a hole-in-the-wall place underneath a bridge in a bad neighborhood. Best Mexican food in the world. So you can't always judge it by stuff like that. So anyhow, guys, I really appreciate you being here. You've been a great group today. We were definitely full today. I hope you got a lot out of this. I hope you go out there and use it. It works. Facebook ads work. You just need to test, and be doing the steps that I gave you in this training today. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Jessica, do you have any parting words? She's not feeling well, so she looks at me like, I don't want to say anything. Well, you got to tell them goodbye at least.
All right. Y'all have a good weekend.
She says, y'all have a good weekend. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later and have a great weekend.